Maybe the best podcast.
Maybe the best podcast. Maybe the best podcast. Yo, we taking off. We taking off.
That's the one.
Oh, man.
Maybe the best podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Maybe the Best Podcast, Season 2, Episode 4. Shout out to YouTube and everybody out there watching us, man. We really appreciate you. Everybody that subscribed to us over the last week and over the course of the time that we have been on YouTube. Once again, shout out to everybody listening on SoundCloud and iTunes. And as always, our folk on the live. And to my right, to kick off this incredible series that we're about to have, I have two lovely and beautiful co-hosts.
You're so nice.
I try to be.
Well, Lulu, I'm back in the building.
And BDB.
Listen, man.
It's not a disease.
This is not going to... She said it's not a disease.
I can't.
This is not going to be a battle. Okay? This is not a battle of the sexes, right?
No.
This is what we call... this is going to be a relationship series, right? And so we are going to talk about certain things.
An open discussion.
I feel like we are very level-headed. Me and her are very level-headed. We can have a discussion.
Okay, fair enough.
We're not going to jump down
Now,
anybody's
you know the
throat.
thing about it is, the hot dad, Vern Diddy, is
Certain
running.
topics.
Okay, he decide. You know what this is? This is kind of like where you throw the first punch, and then if you getting jumped, I jump in. You know what I'm saying? Like he really got me on my ish. So we look at the live. Shout out to the live. We gonna get into it, man. So the first topic. There you go.
Oh, my voice. Yeah,
Look at it.
it's slowly coming back. It's slowly coming back.
So the first topic that we have, you gotta get that echo, man.
Echo,
Killing me
echo,
right now. Killing me right now.
echo.
Technical difficulties.
No, this ain't no technical difficulties. This is nigga podcast. Niggas in the podcast. Niggas in the podcast.
I can't.
We good? This is what happens
look
when
at-
VDB is on camera.
He's on the carpet. It's the carpet.
I see he on the carpet. It's okay. It's okay.
That's
It's
cool. It's a lovely
carpal
carpet.
tunnel. He said that carpal tunnel.
It's
So
frozen. That's what it is.
I asked you guys a question in the group chat,
Yes.
and
Well, first of all, how was your week?
that's right. I'm horrible right now.
How was your week?
My week
Ready
went
to
quick.
Go.
The week went quick.
No
I mean, I had the
It
kids.
really
this week.
did. I
Yeah,
feel like the week did go by fast.
you know, I had the kids this weekend. Shout out to my
Which is already
kids.
Thursday.
But other than that, like the week went super quick. But it was a dope week.
Yeah.
You know, personally, relationship wise. So you know, it's really dope to start this series off with in a positive space.
Good.
You know, so that's really dope. Shout out to Bae. Other than that, it was a really quick week
Yeah.
for you.
I'm better. Thank God. I was dying.
Yes.
All I was doing
Shouts
was
to
coughing and sneezing. But I'm good now.
Sneezy, coughing.
Yeah.
Everybody has the bug right now.
Everybody's
see.
sick.
It was last Saturday. It was my sister's baby shower. And my mom came into town and everything was all good. And then on Sunday, she was all sniffly. She's like, no, it's just allergies. Don't worry about it. Monday, she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. Your aunt had the full-blown flu, so I'm sick. And I was like, if you don't get out of here. And I ended up getting sick, so. But
Well,
the baby shower was a success.
Shout out to the baby shower.
She loved her gifts that I got her, so I can't wait. The baby should come in less than 2 weeks.
Oh.
I can't wait.
Well, shout out to the baby that's coming in this world. You will be guided by two wonderful and beautiful people, I'm sure. So, shout out to that. And Lulu, you be popping. You popping. We just gonna say Lulu popping. You got fans already. Wayne talking about I'm only watching because she's not sick, you know, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna feel away. You know, if I was the S word, maybe I would feel away. But you popping.
S-word.
You popping.
What?
The S word.
The S word.
Oh my goodness.
The shit.
No. I said I'm not feeling away because you popping. Maybe if I was the S word, single, then
Oh.
I would. Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
there
But
were so
I'm-
many other S
Yeah,
words.
you know, you gotta.
No, see,
gotta,
you know, and this is why, because women think niggas ain't shit. But anyways, so your week.
I'm under the weather as well, but recovering. It wasn't Lulu's
No,
fault.
it definitely wasn't me. I was away from work. I stayed in my little cubby. No, nobody can
And I
blame me
also
for
haven't
this.
been taking my allergy medicine, so
Don't get me sick, man.
No, we're good.
It's y'all plan.
I'm not contagious.
This is y'all plan.
You're
It's to get me sick,
contagious.
and then you be by yourself, bro, for the whole series. You know, this is just.
You're so dramatic.
All jokes aside, man. All jokes aside, this is going to be really fun, and I'm excited to do this. So,
Yeah.
The first question is,
Yes.
and I posed this to you guys in the group chat, which
Yes.
is how much of the original question was how much of a hoe can a guy be while single
Yeah.
and it not affect the perception of him relationship wise.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, for the sake of this discussion, and say how much of a promiscuous person, but we'll use hoe for lack of a better term for everybody to get a clear understanding of what we're talking about.
Well, let's just
How
put
much
it
of a
out
hoe
there.
can a man of a woman be?
You are only a hoe if the person is married
See, that's that. We got to do
Or in
another.
a relationship.
or in a relationship.
We have to do
or
another-
in a relationship. I'm sorry, or
Yes,
in
we-
a relationship. Very
We got to
clear.
do. Hey, Cole said, "Bro said the S word like it's profanity." Yeah, man.
Right,
Y'all,
I was like-
I
y'all,
was like, what's that?
y'all know you can't be. Oh, so you read? No. All right. So we're gonna have an episode about that
Okay.
because everybody has variations and differentiations of whole.
Okay.
And mine even probably have changed since our first episode of last season.
Okay.
So, with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
how much of that could a man or a woman be
Yeah.
while single without it affecting the perception of them relationship wise? And do you think it should affect the perception?
I mean, I understand you're single. You're not chained to anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
you can do what you want. You can go out. You can have fun. There's no problem with having fun. My problem is if you are sleeping with 10 girls a week, that's going to add up. And to me, it's like, okay, why are you sleeping with all these girls? Is there commitment issues there? And how do I know that when we're together that you're going to be tamed? Like, I'm the one that can change you, and you'll be like, okay, I'm going to calm down for this one. How do I know that? And then plus two, like, if we're together, then I feel like I always have to watch my back, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to check your phone. I don't want to go through your Facebook. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to be able to trust you. Now, if you have your fun here and there, that's fine. That's not a problem. But if you're out of control, no. That's going to make me question a lot.
Okay. So you don't believe in the line that Neo had in the song? What was it like? What he said? That it was kind of more so like when he's single, he does his thing, but when he's with somebody, he cuts it off, kind of thing. Like in layman's terms, that's what it was.
You can do your thing. You can do your thing. You can date. You can have your fun. But again, if it's, to me, excessive, I'm just going to question certain things.
Okay.
Why? Were you hurt in the past? Do you have commitment issues?
BDB.
My question is, how do I know that you are doing all this? Or like, are you?
You know of the person. It could be,
Yeah,
you know,
reputation.
reputation.
Or they can
Whether
just come
true or
out
not.
and tell you.
Whether true or not, or you see how that person
That's
moves.
unappealing.
You see how that person moves. However, you know,
That
however
is
it
very
be.
unappealing.
My thing is how much of that, because when I put this question on Facebook, a lot of the women was speaking from the perspective of women just don't do this. And this I mean, just keep it real, this stigma has been on men, right? And even while single and things of that sort, women always still keep a level of loyalty to a certain
Facts.
situation, right?
That is true.
Even when you have sexual relationships with women, they'll say, well, let me know if you decide to have sex with another person so I can make the decision or not to continue with you.
Which
course.
is fair.
And the dude, like,
course.
well, that's not my lady. I don't have to tell her that I'm having sex with another girl as long as I'm protecting myself. You know, hopefully y'all ain't swimming in the pool.
I
So,
do have a question about that one.
yeah.
Once
So
you're done.
there's, off top, there's a disconnect, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess the more in-depth question would be, why would it be questionable if male or female, but let's just stay with male. I'm gonna just throw us in there. Just throw niggas in there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put on me. What's up, y'all? I'm gonna put it on me. Why would it be a question of that? Because
Of loyalty?
because there is nothing to be loyal to.
Which is true. Like I've close guy friends and I've seen them do that, and it's
We
like
popping on a lot.
they do that on the low, and I've seen them be in relationships and be committed in relationships. And because I've seen it from the other end as a friend, and I know how you move when you're single, and I know how you move when you're in a relationship, I can see the difference. And I can see how somebody else that I would personally be dating can be that way both ways.
Okay.
But I also understand how that can be deterring. Like, I see you doing that, and that's not appealing to me. Like, how do I know that I'm not just going to be another body? And I don't know how you treat them. I'm not in that girl's position. I don't know if you sitting here making her think that she's the only one, and maybe like it might lead to something, but to you, that's just another body. Like, it depends. Like, there's a lot of variables.
Now, is this an initial thought process, or is this like after he has tried to hit on a woman? Is this, I kind of like him, but I know how he was when he was single, so I'm skeptical. So what stage are we at? Because, you know, there's various different stages. You know, a woman may fall for a guy for a little bit and like him, and you know, once she starts to like him, and people see that they're vibing, then that's when the negativity starts, and it's, oh girl, you ain't know he messed with this one, and oh, you ain't know he messed with that one, and ooh.
There's that.
So where does what stage is it?
I think it's once you're like attracted to that person, because I've like known how somebody moves because they're a friend, and I'm like, I know he's attractive, but I would never put myself in that position because I know that he's a non-commitment type of person. Like, I know that because he's vocal about it, and I know that because I see how he moves. So although I find him attractive and I can feel it's kind of mutual, I'm not going to let myself go there because I want something different from what he wants, and I'm not going to put myself in that position. So from just like me knowing how he moves and knowing what I want, like, I'm just not going to put myself in that position. If I see that another situation, like if I see that this is someone who is promiscuous, then that might be deterring. Like, what makes me think that you were going to stop being promiscuous because of me?
Now, that's a question that I have to ask because, and this is just my personal opinion.
Well, wait, let me tell you this real quick.
Go ahead.
So I did read your question to a guy, and he agreed with that.
With
The women's standpoint. He said that's why I don't have casual sex anymore, because I don't want to be in that position where he is a straight male. Okay. And he said that he doesn't want to be in that position. Like, he's at an age, he's 31 years old.
Okay.
He's 31, and he's at an age and at a place in his life where he doesn't want that image from a woman. Like, if he meets somebody and he wants to be in a relationship, he doesn't want that to affect what can be.
Let me ask this question.
Okay.
Do you feel it's an insecurity to have the thought process of, what about me would make that person not be who he was when he was single? Because like I said, there's nothing to commit to. So is it I'm trying to figure out, because for men, it's literally optics. It's, damn, bro, you got with that hoe. That's just really what it is.
Yeah.
It's optics for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know women can turn it on and turn it off, unless they just, you know, run into a random scutter butter, you know.
Scutter butter.
Yeah, I said it. But for the most part, you know, a woman, because she's emotionally built, can do that. For a dude, so for a guy, it's optics, right?
Yes.
We're not questioning anything, but I was like, damn, man, but you know, since she was home, but it's really not she was a hoe, and if she's going to be a hoe, it's she was a hoe in the stigma that comes with me being with somebody of that stature.
Yeah.
That's what is for men. For a woman, it seems it's like, well, how do I know he's not going to do that to me, and what about me feel he's not? Like, why wouldn't that be an insecurity, especially if the man vocalizes to you the reason why he is different, and why it's like, you know what, these are the reasons why I decided to no longer have casual relationships.
Well, that's different if you
Based on-
explain why. Like,
So
I don't think it is an insecurity. Like, why do
The thought process isn't?
like,
that thought
oh,
process is?
what about me is different? No, that's what you're doing. Why would you change that with someone else? Like, that's what you want to do, and I'm just another part of that. Like,
I do feel like it's an
Why do I
insecurity
have to
issue.
feel like, oh, he's gonna stop doing what he wants to do because it's me? Like,
I personally, I feel like it's an insecurity issue. It's okay, yeah, you're with me and you chose me, but if I see the types of girls that you were with, and I feel like I'm not up to their standards, of course I'm gonna feel some type of way. If you are with 8 to 10s and I'm over here a 5 to 6. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, great, you picked me, but I'm going to feel some type of way. You're with those girls. Who's to say that you won't find another girl like that and go sleep with her?
All right.
And come back to me.
So I'm about to put this on the map for all dudes.
All right.
All non-shallow men.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put the disclaimer on that right now.
Which is what? One person?
Nope. No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Excluding buff and light-skinned ass niggas. Now I'm playing. All shallow men.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Whether it's good looking or whether it's the opposite. The one line I always hated was, oh, if you cheat with me, it better be somebody that look better than me. You losing right there. Mm-hmm. Because for the most part, when a man cheat, he ain't cheating because the female look better. It's not that. It's everything else outside of what and I'm speaking from personal, and I always say this on this show, I can speak from past and experiences because I'm no longer that.
Yeah.
So when I'm speaking from the past, not as the present.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell you
why
laughing?
are you laughing?
The hell you laughing by?
That's a weird ass disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it because, but what I'm saying is, it's kind of like what Mike Epps said in Friday After Next. He said, man, one of them said they were going to suck my dick from the back. I want to see what that be about. That's how a nigga thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's not like, oh, and again, this goes back to emotional, women built emotional and men are really not on that, right? Mm-hmm. So a guy's not thinking, damn, she a little bit big. A guy thinking like, damn, boy, she said she was going to gag my dick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the woman's looking like, oh, well, you like this type because I'm not that. And understandably, because she is an emotional creature. Yeah. But if you're going to rag on guys for not being emotional creatures, then you have to understand how a guy would be able to be in that thought process, even though it's not right and not justifiable. Yeah. At the same time, what I hit casually may not be what I want to be with emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually. What I hit casually is what I hit casually. Yeah. Get it how I live. You clean. I ain't saying I'm out here going to OBT. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never been the brother that the tens be like, ooh, girl, look at him. Yeah. I ain't never developed a thought process where I'm like.
Well, you know why? I think the difference is because us as females, we go for personality. Guys see this
because
first.
Because you guys are emotionally built. You're emotional creatures. That's why you'll say, well, how can you cheat on me and say you love me? And we'll be like, man, I just got my dick sucked. I love my girl. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a real thing.
Well, see, that's another insecurity there. Why did you have to go somewhere else to get your dick sucked?
Answer the question.
What, did I not do it good enough? Was I not doing it enough times? That's another thing. That goes along with communication. If there is something that you do not find pleasing in the relationship, talk to me about it.
Absolutely.
Please don't go outside of the relationship to get that, and then I look like Boo-Boo the Fool over here because you didn't tell me.
Right, and I'm not endorsing
infidelity. I know that. Oh, did I get a little loud?
No. I like it. I like the energy because I wanna get this perspective because and I want to know how you feel about what I said about guys and it just being an optics thing. Like, you know what, for me, it's like, damn, man, I don't really want to go through the motions of people, talking about how I was with a hoe. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, he ain't really on that mentally. Yeah. Obviously, with you guys, it's like, well, he was moving like that when he was by himself. Who's to say he's not moving like that with me? Mm-hmm. And I know you said it was an insecurity, but how do you feel from a guy perspective of him thinking that way?
What? I don't understand the question.
Yeah, rephrase that.
We didn't understand the question.
Of the way the guy thinks.
Like,
just thinking it's optics. Do you think that's a wrong thought process? Do you think that's kind of dismissive?
Like
him saying, oh, you won't be with me because I slept around?
the optics of it, where okay, your concern is more so I don't want to be hurt or I don't want to look
like he looks stupid because he made a whole house.
Exactly.
Oh.
Right.
I mean, that happens every day with a guy. Does that really matter? It doesn't.
In 2018, at 33
Hot dad
years old,
says that.
I can tell you right now, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
As you get older, it don't matter. Let's go to the live real quick. All right. Deidre, what's up? She says, I feel like I'm the baddest, the best, and the dopest woman like me. That can't be touched. I don't care who you are. So my opinion.
Ask her, does she eat ass?
Hold up, man.
No.
My opinion, know who you've been with in the past does not affect me. Okay, I'm here. That's what matters. My soul can't be matched. You snooze, you lose.
I mean, I get that, but
And that's my thing. That's
I get
what
that,
I'm on.
but like I get little insecurities. I do feel like that you chose me great, but there will always be a little insecurity.
And why is that?
It's just how I am. Like, it's hard not to compare yourself to somebody else.
I get her and the once you choose me, like once we're in this part, yes, but me like agreeing to like date you, get to know you, whatever that step, I will have that perception
But
from
that's
before. That's before I even
Absolutely.
get to know you.
But that's why-
It might make me feel a way. Like I don't know if like what his intentions are.
Correct.
Like once your intentions are set and I like feel the vibe out whatever, then that's different. But once like you and I meet and I know these things about you and I'm like, I don't know what your intention is on approaching me.
Yeah.
So if I know Twan is a hoe and he comes to me, what makes me think that Twan just want to hit?
Well,
and
that's-
not Twan
And that's a
wants
fair
to
statement, but that's why I said in what stage, because what if it's, okay, we starting to talk a little bit,
Yeah.
and now you starting to hear bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. Like, this might be a stupid example, but I'm starting to watch Grownish, right? And in one of the episodes, Zoe was dating the top-notch basketball player at the school, right? And she even said to him, like, out of all these girls, why me? And he flat out said, oh, because you're good for my image. You're a virgin. That's what he said. So it's like things like that make you think.
What?
I mean,
Okay.
he ended up liking her, but they broke up. Anyways, but it's things like that makes you think, you know? Like, yeah, you dated all these girls, then you pick me. Oh, because I'm good for your image, I'm a virgin. Like, that's going to get you far.
So
Okay,
it's
great.
no point in time where a person can be promiscuous, or are you saying,
They can.
or are you saying you can be that, but just understand that there may be consequences and perceptions that come along with that.
Yeah.
Should you want to be serious about the person?
Initially, yes.
That's
like,
what you're saying.
I'm gonna like when you meet somebody or you've heard things about this person, whether you were trying to get to know them romantically or not.
was
Why are
trash
you
for that.
laughing?
He was trash for that.
Whether you want to get to know them romantically or not, you have this, I guess like prejudice. Of it. You have this, like you've already kind of judged them based on what you know. That doesn't necessarily have to deter you from getting to know that person and creating your own judgment.
Yeah.
And like that might have been like, oh, this is who he was 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's like, okay, well, people grow,
that's true
people
too.
change. Like I'm gonna get to know this person and I'm gonna create my own perception of
Right.
them and see who this person is.
Okay.
And what doesn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else. Okay? You might tell somebody that you were promiscuous. Yeah, somebody might not like it, but then there's another person out there that wouldn't mind it. So,
Well, there you have it. We coming back with segment 2, another portion of this relationship series.
I
But
like this. This is fun.
right, this is dope, man. Shout out
We
to the
didn't
live.
attack you.
We didn't attack you.
Hey, look.
I feel
Hey,
like
look, I ain't-
Twan was scared.
Look, it's going. Hey, look, it's gonna be plenty
This is
of
us.
time.
This is us.
It's gonna be plenty of time. But shout out to everybody on the live chiming in. Once again, everybody listening out there on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and also YouTube. But listen, we'll be back. Segment 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the best podcast.
Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Go ahead.
Maybe the best.
You were cute.
Part of our part 1 of 3 parts relationship series.
Go ahead, girl. I like it. You going on, man. Y'all
So
don't see Lulu
excited.
YouTube. Y'all don't see Lulu. So
I'm taking over. No.
yeah, we doing it. Like you said, Go ahead.
So I did want to say, so with women, we do like to know if you're going to have sex with other people, please let us know. So my point that I was going to bring up is if a guy says, oh yeah, whatever, like I'm going to do me and I won't tell her, why won't you tell the girl? If you have other pussy over here and this one doesn't want you, you have more over here.
All right.
Give us that respect.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
just respect.
You don't have to tell me who, when,
No.
why,
Just say I am having sex with other women.
or
Okay,
how
cool.
many. Like that's not.
Why is that not an automatic assumption if we're not together? Like I never understood that. Like okay. I'ma
Okay,
be
if
real
you
with
go, if you're
If
having
me and you are-
unprotected sex,
No, we're not talking about unprotected.
But how
I'm
do
just
I?
saying,
How do
We're
I
talking
know
about
that?
casual. We're talking about now. I do agree with the thought process with women and would say, you know what?
so then
So I'm supposed to completely trust what you're doing.
exactly.
No, that's okay. I do
You do what?
because, and maybe it's guys and they in their blind trust, but who's to say you ain't fucking and sucking dick on the side, even though you put it out there talking about, hey, if you gonna have sex with somebody else, let me know so I can know whether I can not suck two dicks at once. Like, how do we know as men that that's not happening? So that's why we have a blind trust when it comes to that.
I feel like women are straightforward and will tell you that.
But hold up. What men's distrust is I'm gonna wear a condom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's
you're
a
gonna
man
tell me
distrust. That's a
you're
man
gonna wear a
distrust.
condom every single time when it just takes that one that feels so good that you're just gonna rip that
If
shit
I
off
was
and
fucking
whisk a
multiple
baby.
women, if I
That's
was
how good it was.
if I was if I was fucking multiple women,
That's how good it was.
Right,
You just
STD.
rip that shit. Yes.
All right.
STD.
Or an STD.
wait.
Okay,
First
or
off, if
STD.
I'm fucking multiple
Alright,
women,
I jumped the
if I'm
gun.
fucking multiple women, I'm going to wear a condom.
Okay.
All right. So with that being
You
said,
You will.
Now-
That's
all
speaking
right,
for
okay,
yourself.
Other
okay.
guys
So
aren't
but
like
we're not
that.
gonna do this. We're not gonna act like every guy that had raw sex. And I'm gonna put it out here right now because y'all lying, men, and we know this for a fact. Every time we went in it raw, we had the condom in our hand, and they said no. They had us put it in.
False as
That is a
fuck.
bunch
gonna
of
say
bullshit.
false. I'm gonna
Men,
say
false.
how
I'm
many
gonna say
times
so
was it
false.
right there in the
False.
pocket? How many times was it right there under the pillow? How many times that when you was kissing and you start rubbing it, and next thing you know, she do the little scooch up. You know the scooch up. You know the scooch
Why you
up. She do the little scooch up, and you like, does she want me to put it in raw?
Okay,
So
but
you
still-
keep
that's
kissing.
better than you.
Hold on, because men trust women because a man understands that a woman
You should
take
still
care of
ask
something.
that question.
Hold on,
You
hold
should
on.
still ask that question.
Hold on. I'm about to go here with it because y'all be acting like niggas out here putting they dick raw in women and convincing them to do that. This ain't no telly from kids. This ain't no telly from kids.
Yes.
I'm keeping it real right now. Every man know right now it was right there in your pocket, right there on the dresser, right there under the pillow, and she was like, "Just put tip, just put a little bit."
She said that.
Just put.
I've been
every
on the
single
opposite
time-
end of that.
Every
said
single time.
She said
Every
that.
single time it has happened, I had not initiated. Now I may initiate it in the sense of putting it in, but if it wasn't for that little scoop,
She
if it
said
wasn't for that
just
scoop,
put the tip in. She said
if it wasn't for the scoop, if it wasn't for the, hold on, lies. You know how many men say they want to feel the good feeling of gripping? Cut it out, Twan.
Oh, let me
Hold
just
up.
put the tip in. Let me just put the tip in.
Hold up.
Yep.
And then the whole thing goes in.
Yep.
Hold up.
Don't even play like that.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all talk. We going to the live real quick
Go
while y'all
ahead,
talk. I'm gonna go to the live while y'all talk.
Okay,
I
yeah.
am keeping it 100, bro. I know. 1,000, he said.
Yeah,
He
that's
said
a man.
1,000.
That's a man saying that.
It's
And then
a
the
man. He gotta be a
one
man.
right there.
He gotta be a man.
Okay, yeah, it's
Okay.
underneath your pillow. It's on the side of the table or whatever. Yeah, she does a little scooch.
You know the scoop.
Okay.
You know the scoop.
All right, she does a little scooch. You still gonna hit it raw, or you gonna be like, oh, hold on, let me put the condom on real quick.
Now, as men, we have a decision to make.
You do. And
All right.
You
Hold
be
on.
responsible or you
Hold
be irresponsible?
on. We have a decision to make.
Oh, okay.
You
I'll
can
pull
either
out.
do
Oh,
one
wait,
or
did you
two
pull
things.
out on
You can
time?
either do a couple things. You can put
Oh,
the
plan
condom.
B.
You can put the condom on, or you can put it in a little bit, then put the condom on.
If you
Does
put
that
it
make
in
stuff
a
feel
little,
good?
if you put it in
Niggas,
a
I'm
little
trying
bit,
to
you're
tell
telling
you,
me
niggas
you're
done
gonna
did
pull
this.
it out.
I'm trying to tell you. Shit just make you feel better psychologically. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? It's just make you feel better psychologically. You know?
So if it feels good, you're gonna be like, oh, let me pull it out.
Listen, all I'm trying to say is this. This is the only thing I'm trying to tell y'all right now. This is the only thing I'm trying to say. Is the majority of times men have had raw sex, and you can comment on YouTube, you comment on SoundCloud, we comment on the live right now. The majority of the time, it is initiated by the woman. A nigga ain't just running in no pussy raw like that. Come on, man.
Such bullshit.
It is not.
That is bullshit.
How?
Are you kidding
You
me?
cannot tell me it's not. Hold up.
Sorry.
Men want to surf for a love, then be like, I'm going to pull out.
Bullshit.
I ain't gonna nothing you. Niggas be like, let me just put the tip in. Fuck
Yes.
out.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Hold up. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all
Yes.
talk. I'm gonna let y'all
Yes.
talk. Go ahead. I ain't lying.
Yes, you are.
First of all,
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna throw this out there.
Go ahead.
Guys are stronger than women, 100%. So you're gonna
Ain't
tell me that
nobody
the
putting their
woman,
meat on them
the
like that.
woman initiates the whole entire thing. She's the one that does all the foreplay and everything, and then does a little scooch. Like, no. If it were me, I'm gonna be like, okay, scooch, but make sure you scooch that condom on before we do anything.
Fair enough. That's not what I'm
Because
saying.
if
I'm
the
not
thing
saying
is-
that women.
If we are in a relationship, I'm not gonna ask you for that. But if it is casual sex,
She
I'm gonna
knows,
need to
therefore
get
her
on-
silence is agreement. Exactly. Exactly.
Who's silent?
Exactly.
Who's silent?
Exactly.
Who's silent?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I've been very vocal.
No, he goes, because you like the scooch, and you like, oh, well, and he's like, she knows, so her silence is agreement.
Okay,
No one was silent over here.
disregard the scooch. But if
It don't happen without the scooch, though.
Okay,
Just
but
like
maybe
sex don't happen without y'all putting the booty on her. You know when you put the booty on her? That's the same thing. Don't come on, man. I'm exposing
Say.
tonight. I'm exposing the secrets. Y'all always exposing our secrets. I'm exposing the
Say.
secrets. I'm exposing the little signals. Go ahead.
this is so
I can't.
That's like-
This is bullshit.
okay.
Go, explain.
Certain things, like once you've been having sex with that person, yes, like you do little things to let that person know you want it. That's different. But I'm talking about like the first couple times.
No, I'm talking about the very first time that however long you guys had sex, the very first time that a guy had went raw with that woman, she initiated. I'm trying to tell
No.
you.
We're both guilty, but men initiate more than women.
How?
And that
Can
is
y'all,
what I
can
said.
y'all please tell me how?
Okay.
Okay,
Please tell me how.
You've only been in your position. You haven't been a woman and been like.
Tell me, so I want to know. I want to know. I
Okay.
want to know because I ain't never
Okay,
heard.
let me
I
say-
ain't never heard a nigga like, "Hey, bro, I fuck bitches raw." I've never heard a dude be like, "Hey, bro, I fuck hoes.
hear
I'm out
it
here. I
all
fuck
the
hoes raw,
time.
bro."
Oh, I don't hear men brag about it,
Niggas
but
nasty. These millennial ass niggas. That don't put me in that millennial shit.
Listen,
And that's why that
listen,
18 to 35 shit
No.
is bullshit. Go ahead.
Who's
I've never
hornier,
heard
men
anyone
or
brag
women?
about that.
Who's hornier, men or
Women. Women. It's a scientific fact that you guys think about sex more times a day
But we're
than men
not
do.
vocal about it like men are. So in
That's
that
the emotion
situation,
side. Okay, go.
guys are gonna take over that situation. They're gonna put the moves on. They're gonna do the foreplay. They're gonna, blow in your ear and whisper dirty little things to you. Okay. They are the ones that do that. I know that was so random. That was so random.
What?
Whisper sweet nothings in your ear, but
little things
regardless,
to you.
guys initiate it. I would say about 90-95%
She
of the
is
time.
the passive initiator.
Oh my God.
I am not.
Shout out to B Code.
I am not.
It happens every day, B. This is what Love said. Love says it happens every day, B. Ain't nobody dropping no explanations. Ain't nobody dropping no
End of
explanations.
the day, you're gonna have sex. The guy should make the decision. Hey, let me put a condom on. Give that girl the respect of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna put the condom on," and she'll be like, "Yeah, go ahead," or "No, it's fine. Let's keep going."
Wait a minute.
People are nasty nowadays.
Look, women don't care about no condoms. They pop them like Skittles and go evil Knievel. Passive initiation. Okay,
Who are you
so,
sleeping with?
So wait. Hold up real quick. Because y'all are
He said
tripping
pop
right
like
now.
Skittles.
Y'all are really tripping. You cannot tell me. And I'm not saying that dudes ain't never said, "Oh, baby, let me put the tip in."
I'm about to
not-
say it because
I'm not
I've definitely
saying
been
that
said
don't happen. But what I'm saying is that what is that?
Is that
20?
20?
You never give us a 20-minute segment. What the f-
Because y'all got different segments that y'all still gotta go.
Fair enough. Okay, so listen.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to that department, women control that department. Women control when they give up the pussy. I always tell dudes this. 99% of the pussy that a man has gotten, you did not get, you just didn't fuck up. So do not tell me that men initiate going in raw when I didn't even initiate getting the pussy.
Okay, can I just say this?
I think I'm here. We're going to go to live in a minute.
Okay.
I think I'm here because of my game.
Okay.
I think I'm here because I paid for the food. But I'm really here because from the moment she saw me, I
First
just
of
didn't
all-
fuck up the attraction.
First of all,
So-
women go on dates all the time
Okay.
for a free meal, and they're not gonna.
Wait.
That's a different type of woman.
Hold on.
I agree with you on your initial, like, you didn't fuck it up. Yes, correct.
So
okay.
how can a
And
guy
then,
be in control of that if we ain't even in control of getting the pussy?
okay, you
Very
get.
few times I got the pussy.
I understand and I agree. And the other,
Break it down.
and you're
You can break
what?
it down.
Break it down.
She said break
What?
it down.
And why I agree with him? Why I agree?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just trying to hype you up. Never mind.
oh,
I'm
like,
the passive initiator.
I'm like
I'm
you-
trying to initiate this shit. Let's go.
I agree with Twan.
Let's
What is
go.
there? I don't have anything more to say about that. No, but on the whole sex part, like, okay, yes, you initiated going in raw, and when you say that the woman has the control, I let you. So we're both equally responsible there. Equally, I'm not going to take no. 'cause
Both sides. You sound like Trump.
Why? No, because you initiated and I let it happen. I could have been like, get a condom.
What I'm saying
But then-
is men don't initiate the majority of the time. Men will
I don't
vocalize
agree.
and say, baby, let me put the tip in. But what I'm saying is if a man is on top of a woman and they are kissing and they pelvics are grinding, there is a motion that women give to say without saying, it's okay, put tip in.
No.
What?
Doesn't mean
No
put the
way.
tip in raw.
What? If not, it would be, baby, put the condom in, I'm horny. Wait, what you mean that don't mean that? That's exactly what
Maybe
it
I
means.
didn't want to have to say that. Maybe you should
What?
have described it.
Oh my god. No, bruh. We're not going through this. Hold on. Here we go. Let's go to the live real quick. Let's go to the live. We go.
I saw birth control.
Said read this.
Okay,
before
no,
the-
but wait. I
Okay,
saw
go ahead.
birth control. How do you know that she's taking it every day? She can tell you she's taking birth control.
But see, that's this goes back to the whole, how do I know a woman ain't sucking another dick? Just because she told me I'm not sucking another dick, don't mean she ain't sucking another dick. But the history of women's loyalty is what they put out on us. Like, oh, well, and this is collectively, not individually, right? Like, I feel like women, when they talk in these certain subjects, the reason why they're so, like, hard on it is because the history of women and loyalty.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, oh, well, I told you. But whoa, just because you said that don't mean nothing. It's just guys have a blind trust when it come to that. You understand? But that don't mean women ain't out here doing him dirty or whatnot. Who's to say that she ain't sending pussy pics and titty pics, even though she said, let me know if you having sex. Why wouldn't the thought process be maybe the reason she said that? Because she don't want to be out here feeling like a hoe because she already fucking another nigga. So all I'm saying is I think the reason why this shit goes so hard is because it's like historically men are the promiscuous ones. But then they'll say, well, really? Women just don't get caught. Anyway, let's go to the live. Read this. Before the date happens, a woman knows if she's going to sleep with the dude. This is what I'm saying. A man only hopes he's getting some pussy, but she knows if she's going to let him get that far. She lets him get her alone. She lets him get him undressed. She lets him put it in, condom or not. Therefore, she is in control, and we are just fortunate. TJ Legacy says women do the choosing. They are the QBs of intimacy. Men just run the play. That's called. Deidre laughs at that. Love says women initiate, but men initiate raw sex, and women be so horny, they don't make them put the rubber on. Yeah. If that's I won that one. If that's the case, stop it. Stop it. All I'm saying is stop it. Because you're basically saying you took advantage of my horniness. No. Because now you're insinuating that I date raped you. Like, nah. That you're insinuating that you ain't want it.
So you're insinuating, all right, she doesn't tell you to put the condom on. So you didn't try to.
Huh?
You didn't say like, oh, let me get this. You didn't like.
Because
try.
I'm only going to do as the woman is comfortable, right? So let's say if we close at the table and I scooch and you let me scooch.
And you still initiate the first row.
And I scooch, and you let me scooch. I'm like, okay, I think I probably can kiss her, right? So then I'm going to lean over. But it's only until you give me a little lean where I'm going to go in, right? You ever seen Hitch? 80. Come on now. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to keep it real right now, okay? So it's only in regard, and this is a gentleman. I'm talking about gentlemen. I ain't talking about savage dudes. I'm talking about gentlemen right now. This is only in regards to being a gentleman. You are only going to do as the woman allows.
Yeah.
So therefore, a man is not in any control of nothing except his nut. And he ain't even in control of that if she got a good swirl on him. You feel what I'm saying? So niggas ain't in control of shit. As much as we think we are in control, we are not in control. I am sorry that the misconception is that guys initiate unprotected sex more than women. It is a false narrative.
How about we agree to disagree? Guys are going to say they don't do it, they don't initiate it, and us as women, we're going to say that guys do. So let's agree to disagree.
As long as we know the truth.
Well, your truth.
Everyone has their own truth. And
All right.
All right.
Fair enough.
so, Lulu, what do you have to...
Lulu says.
Well, you can go first because mine are, it's going to be short.
All right. You sure you want to go?
Yeah.
So if yours is short, go first.
You go first.
All right.
You go first.
Say what you gotta say.
So the two
Lulu
things
says.
that I'm going to talk about is Black History Month and Valentine's Day, which with both of those, I feel like that should be an everyday thing. Black History Month should be Black History every day, and Valentine's Day, I feel like, should be every day. So don't shake your head. I'll start with Valentine's Day. So I feel like for Valentine's Day, that should be an everyday type thing. You shouldn't buy flowers for your significant other once a year, and you shouldn't buy cologne for your guy once a year. You should do it as like an everyday thing. If you know what her favorite flower is, you should send them to her just because. If you know his favorite team is the Cavs and you want to spend that extra money, go buy those tickets and be like, you know what?
Don't, because they ain't going to be.
Whatever. I'm just using as an example.
I know,
Just do it as an everyday thing. And guys, don't buy her roses. I feel roses are very generic, unless that's her favorite flower. If you don't know her favorite flower,
Don't buy Lulu roses.
I feel like the guy should know who you are. He should buy you your favorite flowers, and if you don't know her favorite flowers, she either doesn't like flowers or you just haven't asked.
Says flowers are a poor representation of love. Cavs are trash, Laker gang.
The Lakers that just lost to the Magic. Anyways.
Damn, why you had to do that on this show next to me, knowing what I am.
Anyways.
Because you called her ugly earlier.
I did not call you ugly.
Yeah, you did.
It's just we was
Yeah,
on the
you
live
did.
and I didn't want to be disrespectful. But
And
you
then-
look nice with the glasses. That's your secretary thing going.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm going my DM. Anyway, so my next one is going to be about Black History Month. Black people. We know the secret to our youth is our skin. Okay? Keep your skin nice with the butters. Cocoa particularly. It's the secret to our youth. So head over to Target. On their cart wheel, they have 20% off on the Palmer's Cocoa Butter. Go over there. Get your skin nice and right. If you're 80, go ahead and look 40. There you go.
80's the new 40. I'm so hot soon. So shout out to Lulu Says. I like these segments. And for the listeners out there, the new listeners, the new watchers on YouTube, and everybody on the live, we have now implemented 2 new segments, Lulu Says, to give our beautiful co-hosts a chance to speak more with these 2 loudmouth dudes.
Beautiful.
And
I know.
to bring my platform Black at It again, but just give a piece of Black at It, right? So I don't just be an angry black guy the whole show. So with that being said, and to kick off Black History Month,
I'm trying.
my segment about Black at It again will be about Brother Charles G. Woodson. I have no notes in front of me, so I'm just going off of studying and everything. But I want to give us a lesson real quick. And the lesson is this. Today, I was at work, and I had a white gentleman come up to me. Cool guy, man. I've known him for years. I don't want to say his name, obviously. And he comes up to me and he goes, Google Charles Woodson, right? And I knew what he was talking about. So I go, Charles G. Woodson? Right? And he goes, Charles Woodson, but excuse me, the way he came was as if he was giving me something so profound that I'll trip out when I see it.
Yeah.
So I go, Charles G. Woodson. I go, yeah, I studied the brother a couple years ago. And I'll get into the revealing of it. And so probably about 30 minutes or an hour later, he comes walk right back by the tower, and he looks at me and he goes, I'm impressed.
Okay, this is really random, but whenever you say tower, I think of like up in a castle, like
Gotcha.
tower. That's what I think of.
But he goes, I'm impressed.
Princess.
And he walks by.
Princess Anthony.
So for those that's not
That's what I think
for
of.
those that's not in the know,
He's trapped in the tower.
Brother Charles G. Woodson is a brother, and he was the one who actually created Black History Month, which was initially called Black Cultural Month. Mm-hmm. It was designated to be in the month of February, right? Because it's the stigma that they gave us. If I cut off on you live, I'm sorry. They gave us this month. It's the shortest month. Actually, we gave it to ourselves in honor of Frederick Douglass and Lincoln's birthday, obviously the Emancipation. But the lesson in this is, and he didn't even know this, and this is not a racial undertone, but it's really to my black folk out here. The problem is that it's an expectation, and I'm gonna look at the live and YouTube. It's an expectation amongst our other people that we are expected not to know our history. We are expected not to know who we are. We are expected not to know that people before us, even the man who created the very month that we are celebrating, it was expected for me not to know that. And it was a profound response when I did know that. It was an impressive response when I did. And so what I learned today, it is important more than it has ever been before today for me to continue to study and learn the people before me, because there is a mass amount of people that know our shit more than we know our shit. And that cannot be. The expectation of us knowing who we are, where we're from, and the people that laid the foundation for us cannot be a surprise to people that don't look like us when we know. That's what I learned today, family. It is important that we eliminate people coming and saying, hey, I got some fly ass shit about your history that you don't know. Because it was harmless, but that's what it was. Yeah. You know, and it was like, damn, I'm impressed. Because no other brother that I encountered, Antoine, knew who the fuck Charles Woodson was. Yeah. Not only do you know, you said the full name. So I didn't pop no collar, but it made me focus like, damn, bro, what if I didn't know that? Yeah. What if I didn't know that? I would have been on this live right now revealing that. If I didn't know that, luckily it took 2 years ago for me to say, you know what? Let me see if this they gave us this month is a real thing. And it's not. A brother that looked like me, that looked like you, gave us this month. Yeah. So as I always say in closing, Black history is American history. Carter. I always say Charles. My fault. My apologies. Charles Carter G. Woodson. My bad. My apologies. But I always say Black history is American history. So with that being said,
we still have to do our Maybe the Best of the week.
We still got to do Maybe the Best. So I'm out. I'm out for Black Addict.
I will say I didn't know the history, like why February was picked for Black History Month, but I didn't know the guy that did that.
Yeah.
So,
and I always say Charles, but it's Carter. My apologies.
Charles in charge.
Maybe the best of the week.
Do y'all have one? Mine is like, I just thought of it now because we have to do it. I binge watched something over the weekend and it was actually really good. So I'm going to share. It's called The Five. I told you about it.
Yes.
Okay.
I need to watch it.
So I like murder mysteries and like things about serial killers. So this kid disappeared when he was 5, and then 20 years later his DNA showed up at a crime scene and then at another crime scene. So it's kind of just like a story of what the fuck happened.
I know.
It's
I
crazy.
haven't seen
It had a plot twist that's there, and I was like, oh shit. It was good. Really good. I watched all 10 episodes over the weekend.
Nice. Your Maybe Best of the week?
Mine? Mm-hmm. I don't have the flu, and I'm alive.
I'm gonna tell you my Maybe Best of the week.
Because that shit is going around.
my maybe best of the week, I'm going to give a shout out that nobody was giving a shout out to.
Hootie hoo.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Bruno Mars. Because when I first heard the recent album he dropped, a couple days after 24K came out, you know, he drops his album on Tidal or whatever. And
Wait, he dropped another one?
No, the recent album that went on the awards.
Oh, okay.
And I knew off Ripper, I was like, this album's gonna be crazy. So to watch it manifest how it did during the year and end up with the awards that it did, I'm not disappointed. Thank you, Bruno Mars, for keeping funk alive, keeping swing alive. And anybody else that has an issue with black artists not getting an award, we know exactly what to do. So I don't want to hear the bullshit. He had an incredible album. This is not cultural appropriation. He's a brother. In kind. He's a brother. In kind. That's another thing that we got to stop acting like Caribbean folk. But anyways, man, shout out to Bruno Mars. And yeah, that's my thing.
You know, I will say I was happy that he won those awards, but I don't think he should have won Album of the Year.
He did have the Album of the Year.
I think Kendrick should have
Kendrick
won that
did
one.
not have a better album than Bruno Mars. And
I
see,
feel
this
like
is the
He
problem.
had the better album of 2017.
Who?
Bruno Mars came out in 2016, just for what it's worth.
Okay, so if that's what we're going to say, then say that.
But because of all the awards, now he's doing another U.S. tour for the 24 Karat Magic, and he's bringing Cardi B along.
Hey.
He is bringing Cardi B along.
Bye.
Hey, listen, man.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. We're gonna end it like that.
Maybe the best podcast.
When I was young, I always wanted to be famous. I'd fuck 200,000 bitches on a sleigh bed. Not all at once, but if I could, I would, I swear, yeah. Just like the fuck a lot, big pun, I'm not a player. Okay, now I've been on some other shit. With my bad bitch thicker than Southern grits. We fucking and we get to the money. Fuck all that sucker shit. I've been on a hell of a run. I need a sponsorship. This bitch is pussy out of this world, straight from a mothership. I've been on my ET and being broke is foreign in my 30s. There's nothing you can say today that hurt me. Just sit back and observe me. Pop the top off this bottle. Vevin bacon for breakfast and getting top from a model. Bitch, I'm cool. Bitch, I'm bad. And if I die tomorrow, them bitch niggas would be glad. So I plan to be right back. It's only right they hate it. And if I had to fuck a give, I wouldn't. I can't fake it. So bitch niggas gotta take
All I
it.
know is getting to and bagging up that moolah. And if they try to stop it, press that Glock to they medulla. These niggas never measure up when fucking with the ruler. Cause they be taking days off pussy niggas, Ferris Bueller.
I don't worry about no one but me, myself, and I. Alien Carter gon' be good as long as daddy's still alive. But just in case I die today, I promise you'll be fine. Cause my life insurance got 2 commas and he first in line. Why the fuck you think I'm working so hard? My God, my current mission is low emissions in my garage. A Tesla Model S, 200 on the dash. And all you hear is pew. Soon as I press the gas, I'm back.